Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much. Welcome to Punchline African Television. This is the Legacy Trend. This is the Legacy Trend and the show coming live from Mombasa, the coastal city of in Kenya. And live with us today, we have a special privilege to have one of the guests, chief guests of one of the parties in Kenya. And that party is our favorite also. And we want to do a disclaimer that after morning, we shall be interrogating him on a few issues as a party official. As you know, we are looking at the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. We have been in this region coming up to see the vote. How many votes do we have? Are there people with us? Are there obstacles? Are there challenges that we see that are coming from these different angles? As you can see, we have dotted ourselves across the country. Later on, we shall have a show with people from Kitale, Bungoma, Kakamega, Meru, Nanyuki, and Rift Valley, Eldoret, and Nakuru. So this morning, my humble thanks goes to the youth, the national youth leader of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya, none other than Mundalo M. Advice, who is in Mombasa, who was also doing a similar other activities of the party to access himself to every information, every bit. This is, as you know, 3 weeks to elections. He has to assess what are the youth saying at the coast. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mundalo, the youth chairman of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya movement. Good morning.
Good morning, Professor. How are you?
Thank you very much. We are both at the coast, but in different locations. You can
Definitely.
see, I can see from your background, my background is inside, and you are outside facing the sea. So good morning, and everybody, you can say some few words to the national youth, Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya youth across the country. Most of them are going to listen. The message will go, and your clip will be given doing rounds around the country. Go ahead, please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Professor. I'm very privileged to be on this show, one of the biggest political talk shows in the Republic of Kenya. My name is Mundalo Advice. I'm the National Youth Chairman of the ruling and governing party, the Jubilee Party, and I also sit on the presidential campaign for the youth campaign of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party. And I'm very happy to have this conversation with you today.
Thank you very much. Your visit to the coast was to inspire as many youths as you have been doing. I've been following you. You doing seminars, in-house seminars, outside house seminars, to inspire the youth to come up in big numbers and vote for Azimio la Umoja One Kenya. How far have you gone with this project?
We have gone very far. We have actually traversed the entire country, and we have been doing the coastal region from the fair part of last week. And the voice of the youth is very vehement and very strong. That the youth this time round, their participation is very critical in this election. The youth are not just going to be passive participants of this election, but the youth have taken a center stage, not only in decision making to vote, but also to be voted. This is one election that is going to see very many young people come into the leadership space of this country. And apart from that, even the decisions that the young people are making today, the young people do not want a corrupt country. The young people today do not want people who have scandals and their life is very scandalous, taking up the leadership of this country. The young people today want leaders who are able to show them a bit of optimism. Leaders are able to take them to the next level. They want leaders who have a history to back on their track record. That is the voice of the young people across the country and the coastal region in particular.
Thank you very much. In the coastal region, you have different candidates vying for different positions Azimio la Umoja One Kenya movement or party or coalition, as you call it. Are there any challenges as the youth, as you, one of the mobilizers on the presidential campaign unit of Azimio la Umoja, that you face challenges, obstacles, logistics? What do you think will hamper some of the people from coming to vote? And what mechanisms have you put in place to make sure that every vote in this country, in this county, is collected and the people go back to vote and go back home peacefully? How far have you gone with that program?
First of all, the youth candidates in the Azimio are strong across the sphere. Of course, they have a lot of teething problems and I've been able to talk to many of them. Of course, they have no problem from anybody, and therefore they have quite a challenge in terms of their resources. They cannot marshal up themselves that maybe other citizens have. They have that. They don't have that benefit, and so we are looking at also just supporting them. Even as a party, we have been able to identify that there is quite a logistics problem. Most of our youth candidates do not have sufficient resources to pull up this campaign, though they are very strong on the ground and very good ideology and very progressive minds. And that is a problem identified, and we are canvassing on how to go about it. In time, our candidates, as we'll head into this last session of the election, I can tell you that our candidates are going to get a very significant boost to take them to the win of this election.
A message to the youth across the country called Kenya, while voting, the peaceful message that you have been sending to almost everybody. You have been sending that peaceful message, and I have been very much impressed. In places where I've gone, I've found your message sinking, and I've seen you doing a lot of seminars, a lot of meetings with the younger generation to tell them that this is not a violent exercise. It should be an exercise of peace where people vote and go back home. Do you think the message has sunk in the youth and the generation that you met? Because some of them are the ones that are paid to come and disrupt the rallies and create violence. You think your message has sunk very well?
Definitely. The youth of the country have taken it extremely positive. And the youth message is headed by our President Uhuru Kenyatta. He is the one who kicks the message of youth. I think maybe just have to move a bit because of the rain of the city. I think that's
we have some rain that has come, but we have umbrella. Don't worry. We have there's rain coming in here. Miriam and others watching things in Mombasa because sorry boss. But we have now improvised our umbrella. We have a punchline umbrella which you should have had. I don't know where Moses put the punchline umbrellas. They're in the car.
I hope you can see me.
Yes, we see you properly. We are seeing you properly. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, I was going to say we have really canvassed the message of peace across the country and encourage the young people that election, apart from being about getting the next leaders, it is also heavy on ensuring that the peaceful process. The initiator of this is actually the President of the Republic of Kenya, who is the party leader of the Jubilee Party, because the party is the one who has been able to ensure that he has been able to support both my office and logistically to ensure that we are able to country and ensure the message of this. We are able to be to this coastal region after Mariba and all other areas in the Republic of Kenya to spread the message of because of critical importance. The election is not just about who gets what, but also the state of the peaceful of the people is very important for the young, because every time there is lack of peace in the country, the most affected people are the young people. To go to school. The young are the ones who are mobilized to get those people have a huge side of it. And so every time there is a state of lack, it is that huge. And that is the message we've been spreading across the country. And the young people this year about that this election is going to be a process, because we, the youth, have a better stake to take into this election than being used. So I assure Professor that we have done a lot of work in that regard, and the reception has been enormously great, and the Jubilee Party has been very supportive of ensuring that we're able to come and spread the support.
Now let's come to a familiar territory, the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. You are a member of Jubilee Party. President Uhuru Kenyatta will exit stage as the President of the Republic of Kenya after the elections. You have been in Mombasa. We have also been in Mombasa, our television station and the legacy trend people. We have been everywhere from the South Coast to North Coast. What is your judgment about the elections? About the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the roads, the hospitals, the schools, the infrastructure, generally, tourism. You have been in one of those hotels. I believe one of the hotels where you stayed. Tourism is one of the pillars of one of the pillars of our income for this nation. Is there an improvement during this time for tourists who have come, given that we came out of COVID?
A lot of improvement. A lot of improvement. And one of the young persons today is President Uhuru Kenyatta. For once independence, the Republic of Kenya has had the young people entrusted with the highest number of responsibility in just small entities. They are able to mention way over 50 young people who are appointed by the president. Members we young CEOs today in the Republic of Kenya. Young people like myself have been entrusted to check leadership of the political party. So the first thing that must be to be fingertip of a young person to about President Uhuru Kenyatta is his enormous trust to youth. We even have the youth who have served in the cabinet. We have assistant ministers, Nadia. We have assistant. We have CS. We have CS. We have CS. Zakirudia, and even others that have actually been entrusted and given that huge responsibility that has since independence. Of course, infrastructure development is something that LKIs can.
Yes, we seem to have lost your contact. You have unmuted. Unmute. Moses. Unmute. Yes, go ahead now. I think you touched the button. Now go ahead. We missed a bit of that.
Yes. I'm saying President Kenyatta has done enormously even in matters of health sector. We have seen the number of our hospitals. Today, you move into most of our hospitals and you find drugs there. So the president has really been able to do a good job in terms of the matters health, matters is reaching, matters infrastructure is great, and matters also enabling that this country is very peaceful. Since the inception of this 1963 and we've been able.
Again, you have. I think because of the Thank you very much. We can't hear you. You have muted the phone. Muted. Thank you very much. I think the rain has, in the studio, Miriam, rain has really come heavy. And we want to thank Mr. Mundalo for the few words that he has said. We can't keep you any longer here. And because your things, the rain is really battling us. So we have done it very well. The message is very clear. We thank you very much, and God bless you. Mombasa has become, President Uhuru Kenyatta has done very well on the ecology, on the environment, and let's get everything going. Thank you very much, Mr. Mudalo. Thank you very much. God bless you. It is too much rain down here, Miriam. We can't continue.
Thank you, Professor.
Yes. Thank you. Come inside, please.
Very well. Thank you so much, and a very good morning to you, our viewers, wherever you're watching us from. That was an interview with Mundalo Advice, who is the national youth leader of Azimio One Kenya Alliance, and he is right now at Mombasa. And perhaps a question I would have wanted Mundalo to respond to. I don't know if you can still hear us, because the recent KPMG audited voters register indicated that youth at the age between 18 and 35 are about 8 million registered voters within that age range, and we know that is way below as per the number of people we do have in this age group. So I would like to know perhaps why does he think that not so many young people wanted to come out and register as voters, even with the efforts the IEBC had put on in place, and for those who are registered as voters, the 8 million plus, are they likely to come out and vote, or are we going to experience a voter apathy when it comes to this age group between 18 and 34 years old? Mundalo, if you can hear me.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you, Miriam, and I want, he's here, he's inside the house now. I don't know whether the echoes will bang into each other, but he can try the question. You can answer.
Okay, not possible. Not possible. The signals are clashing there. Okay, so I'll just move on ahead. Of course, on the show this morning, you're also joined by Cornelia Samuse, all the way from, I don't know if he's in Bungoma today, but he will be bringing us some update on President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy from the western part of Kenya. Cornelia Samuse, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Miriam. Good morning to you, Dr. David Matsanga and Comrade Advice Mundalo and all the panelists. It's actually a chilly morning here at the western part of Kenya. Campaigns are ongoing, though not at a higher momentum as the years previously, but people are moving up and down. And as we
where exactly are you?
Currently, I'm in Kandui constituency, Bungoma County.
All right.
When are you moving to Kitale?
Kitale is tomorrow, where we are having the Azimio crew coming to that side, and also the unveiling of the statue of the late Masinde Muliro in Kitale town. And there'll be a number of rallies also to unveil a number of projects that President Uhuru Kenyatta initiated in Trans Nzoia County.
Okay, thank you very much. Back to you, Miriam.
Mm-hmm. And we're also joined by Kiptanui Savania. Usually he comes to us from Nakuru. I don't know where he's situated this morning. Kiptanui, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam. Good morning to Daktari. Good morning to my fellow correspondents. Good morning to my brother, Mundalo. I'm joining you live from Mount Narok. Mount Narok is in Joro constituency. And early in the morning, I was in the Provincial General Hospital, and I actually covered the the baby mother. I think not the baby mother program over there in the morning, and I think I shared some photographs with Steve. We will be playing as I will be coming to you. Which will just give me some only 10 minutes so that I reach the destination I'm heading. Then I will be here.
Okay. All right, very well. Then you'll give us the update of that and also other projects. Okay, thank you so much. And also we're joined by Jevan Karanja. Jevan, good morning, and where are you situated this morning?
Good morning, Miriam, and my fellow panelists, and the rest of the team that is on the panel. I'm coming live from Nanyuki. Here is Laikipia County, and we are good. Thank you.
Okay, and Douglas Kirimi in Meru. Douglas, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Miriam Ogutu, and also to Dr. David Matanga and my co-panelists. And also, I'll be coming live to you from the Makutano Fresh Produce Market that was constructed by the national government and also World Bank, and also in collaboration with the county government of Meru. The governor will be making his way in less than an hour to that place so that they can be able to open that market that was constructed by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, and also the government, the county government of Meru, and the World Bank as a financier, Miriam Ogutu. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So before we get into the updates, because we shall be looking to get to hear more about the news that you're following for us this morning, we are also joined by Gladwell Kiragu from Kiambu County. Gladwell, good morning.
A very good morning to Miriam. Good morning to Dr. David Matsanga. Good morning to my fellow panelists. Good morning to our viewers. I'm coming live from Kiambu, that is in Githurai, whereby, Miriam, as you can see, there's so much that is going under Uhuru's legacy, and some of these projects is actually set to open them this week.
That reads Risambo. Is that the same Githurai? Risambo, is it in?
Yes, Risambo CDF office. Actually, this is Githurai 44. Actually.
Okay, so that is not Kiambu. That is Risambo constituency, I believe, in Nairobi. But thank you so much. So you shall be bringing us some latest update from that. So let me just quickly bring us up to date with what the headlines are in the leading newspapers this morning, and then we shall just get back to our conversation of looking at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. We know, as we only remaining at 21 days towards the general election, the countdown already began days ago. So the Star newspaper, the main headline, the final push, Raila Ruto plan mega city rallies. That story is on page 45. Court to rule on 2 billion Kenya shillings meter tender next week. That is on Kenya Power, and former Kenya Power CEO Ben Chumo seems to be in a lot of problems there. The story is on page 2. Widow says no exhumation plans to trader. That story is on page 22. And the Standard newspaper, the main headline, Chief Minister posts double-edged sword. That story is on page 6. What Kenya can learn from Sri Lanka on debt. That is on page 4. And Biden Saudi tour stirs up debate. You'll find that on page 28. Ethiopians too strong for Kamworor. That story is on page 40. And the main election is the campaigns entering home stretch, and they're showing Azimio presidential candidate and Deputy President William Ruto's rallies in yesterday in Kiambu, and the other one in Nairobi. The Daily Nation, the main headline, making of an opaque election. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is dancing with fate by keeping open secrets about the whereabouts of 6,000 new polling stations. Tender details about the deal with technology provider Smartmatic, and also the fact that the tallying of election results will not be as real-time and digital as promised, since the agency will rely on pictorial rather than alphanumerical data from voting centers. There's always something with IEBC. That story is on page 10 and 11. The oil barons of Kenya, that is on page 7, and 356,000 apply for 14,000 teaching slots, that is on the back page. And Uhuru spent 1.5 trillion Kenya shillings on roads. Even as we look at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy, I think we shall spend some little time on that story. So that is what we have on the front pages this morning. Back to you, Doc. Doc? Okay, Doc. Doc, can you hear me? You're muted. Yeah. Okay. Well, very well. So anyway, as we even look at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy, I think this story on the front page on the Daily Nation, I think it's quite important, seeing that we only have a couple of days to our general election. So let's find out some of these issues that the Daily Nation has highlighted. The story is on page 11 on the Daily Nation, and page 10 and 11. The Electoral Commission is on spot over lack of transparency in its preparations for the August 9th general election, as key polling data and information is not available to stakeholders and the media. Nobody knows the number and locations of new polling stations, facts about the results transmission, path and circumstances surrounding the abandonment of text data to guarantee live streaming. There are also questions of a due diligence done on the company providing the elections technology and failure to make public a voter register audit report 2 months after it was finalized. 2017, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission broke down data on the 40,883 polling stations per counties, constituencies and wards. This year, however, it has listed 46,423 stations without indicating how they are distributed, making it difficult to assess where the additional ones are located. So, Doc, if you can hear me, or we start with Javen. Javen, I know you can hear me, so I don't know if you've heard this story that I've just read there, according to the Daily Nation. The IEBC said because of the increased number of registered voters, so there were increased polling stations. However, IEBC is not telling us particularly where these new polling stations are. Is it something that should be an alert, or we should just have confidence that, IEBC knows what it's doing?
Yeah, Miriam, at this juncture, we have seen a lot of loopholes on how the IEBC has been conducting itself, and in preparation to this mega and general election that is coming in few weeks' time. Miriam, this new polling station, they are saying it's 6,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so if that is the case, Miriam, we need to know where these new polling stations are, the number of people who are registered there, and why the IBC have been holding this information so dearly that Kenyans are coming to know about it at this point. If IBC is not serious about this election, they should relinquish the mandate to some other people who care about this country, people who cater for the interest of Kenya, and people who guarantee Kenyans credibility and a fair elections as we head to this election, Miriam. We have seen a lot of things, even how the printing of ballot paper is done. And Wafula Chebukati, Miriam, since 2017, he has been faced with a lot of challenges. You know what happened in 2017 presidential election? There was a nullification because of the process and how Wafula Chebukati conducted the election then. If Wafula Chebukati has not been keen on rectifying the old mistake that he committed in 2017, Miriam, how did we as Kenyans entrusted him with this 2022 general election? He needs, first of all, to make sure and to clean his public image that is already tainted from the mistake of 2017 before we think of this election, Miriam. And if Wafula Chebukati is not ready, we know how contentious and how big a presidential election in this country. It is almost a do-or-die affair. And that is why we end up having demonstrations, people being forcibly evicted from their homes because of presidential ballots, Miriam. Therefore, we need someone who can protect and give Kenyans a free and fair election. A number of people have complained, and even the deputy president, that Raila Odinga does not accept presidential results. I don't think that is the case. If the election was free and fair, if the election is seen, Miriam, to the public eye, to be something near fairness, Miriam, I don't think Raila Amolo Odinga could be contesting the outcome of these polls. But since the election has not been fair, that is the reason why Raila Amolo Odinga has been contesting and going all the way to the Supreme Court because of how IBC has been conducting itself. Therefore, it's about time we save Kenya from all that kind of pull and push and ensure that we have credibility in this poll. And to do that, Miriam, we need to make sure that Wafula Chebukati will guarantee Kenyans the credibility. But since he has shown signs that he is not keen on that, Kenyans need to have an alternative. And I think for me, if I was the one advising Kenyans, we need to suspend and extend this election until IBC is properly prepared for this big day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Doc, I'm sure you can hear me. In 2017, we had 40,883 polling stations that IBC made public, and we were aware, even the media was given that information and even locations of these polling stations. And in a revised, list this year, however, IBC has listed about 46,233 stations. So there is over 5,000 increase in polling stations. However, nobody knows where these polling stations are. IBC has not told us in which these new polling stations are located, Doc. Are we reading too much into this?
Sorry, sorry, Miriam, but my sisters and the gentlemen on the panel, there is a saying in Africa that a son who does not listen to the mother and keeps on walking in the path of the elephant will always meet the elephant one day. Douglas Kiputanui, Cornelius Omuse, Gladwell Kiragu, Javani Karanja, and Miriam, you are all Africans. We have told the IEBC time and time again that you are walking in the path of an elephant. That one day this elephant will come from the other side. You won't escape. You know, when elephants are moving from Kirinyaga and are going to Mount the Aberdares, you might think there is an earthquake. Douglas will tell you, they come in thousands. You might think it's an earthquake. Boom, boom, everywhere where you are standing, you feel there is. I don't know whether you have witnessed that, Douglas, but that is what I've witnessed. So, time and time again, we have talked about IEBC. The time, the counting is now. It is beginning to, the clock is ticking towards disaster. If you have watched the films of disaster management, that blows, the dams blows and everything, this is going to happen. And believe me or not, like it or you don't like it, there is something Ikona Kasoro. The guy has even hidden this. You don't know where they are. In fact, they could be in Nakasongola, in Uganda. We might be voting while they are in Gulu. So I don't know. If you people don't know, me, I cannot continue saying things, then die alone. Yeah, because I am on the hit list of Mr. William Ruto. I'm aware. But I have one God. The one who kept me here will keep me around. The one who kept me here will keep me around. And I will be alive one day and one day only. I want to thank you very much, you people, on the question of elections. Miriam, don't ask me again. Let this be the last time we are you're asking about this thing called elections. I've become the old man out. Kirimi, I've become the old man out, singled out, that Ugandan is asking about elections. So for me, wacha nikufe namna hivyo. Wacha niwachie hapo. Mmeshasema maneno hapana mzuri. Watu wanaendelea na maneno yao. Wanataka kufanya ile uchaguzi ambayo uko na kasoro na tofauti na uchaguzi zote ngine. Hope my Swahili is alright there. Different from other elections worldwide. So if you want to do it, go. Let them do it. It looks like everybody, even Raila, this time is very pleased with it. So we don't know. Yeah. So why should I, Paul, speaking as a Gentile, continue to praise the Jews? Hello? You leave it. 11th is not very far, Miriam. 11th of August is not very far. Not very far. You hear my lips? Not very far. Tutaona. It will take just 1 hour for filing applications. People will file. And the Justice Comey has no right to say don't file. He can't close people. They can even file 1,000 applications. So what type of it is that you know you are going to fail? It is like knowing very well that you have not done. You have not done. Am I phasing out? You have not done proper things on the proper revision. Then you want to be determined to do an exam. Surely, Miriam, this is, where did he hide these polling stations? Why did he hide them? Why are they missing? Why is Raila not raising his voice? Why? Why is Ruto saying comfortable? Comfortable. It's okay. We are comfortable. We are comfortable. Don't you sit down? And the advisors of Raila Amolo Odinga, don't they sit down and reason? Why is Ruto? You know, it is very rare for Ruto to say it is all right. You know that. And when Ruto says everything is all right, then you know it is very wrong. So if you think I'm talking lies, Jamen, you are in Bungoma, Western correspondent, Cornelius Omuse. The man is in Meru, another one is in Nanyuki. She is in the center of the problems of Kenya, is Kiambu. And the other one is in the center of crisis of Kenya, in the Rift Valley. Matanga, I am in the Sunshine City, near the Indian Ocean. We have done the homework that was supposed to be done. We do it. The other week we are here and we listen. You have Sonko still has gone to the East African Court of Justice. Therefore, you cannot eliminate him, but only the court can take him out. Mm-hmm. Because you have accepted the East African Court of Justice. You cannot take Sonko out now. You have no right. You can't take him out. The African Court of Justice will come for you. Really. He will make sure that he wins that election and that petition. I can see gradually today you have hammered the journey towards outside in the field. Let me not waste much time. We want to bring you to give us your report. But on elections, Miriam, I'm sorry, my dear sister. I've talked enough and let God help me. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much, Douglas.
I think we can kickstart our topic today. It is actually, you cannot discuss this topic without going through this election. Because everything you discuss
is tied on the elections. And now,
yes,
Doc,
it is.
The new, also the new directive from the IEBC is that it will use photographs of results declaration forms rather than the alphanumeric data of the results as their primary data source. This could delay real-time transmission as it will have to manually, after you send the photographic results. So IEBC of clerks have to sit there and manually key in these results into from the tens of thousands of photographs of forms shared by returning officers. So remember, we have about 46,233 polling stations. From each polling station, can you imagine each sending a photograph of the results, and it is the IEBC clerks at the Bombers of Kenya who will be keying in these results. This is something that has not happened before, so I don't know why IEBC is choosing to use this method. And all these new things it's coming up with, especially when you look at the timeline we are at right now, you wonder why these sudden changes from the way they've done things before. Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam.
Go ahead. Did you hear my question? You're muted. You're muted, Douglas. Okay, so as we wait for Douglas to figure that out, I'll bring in Cornelius Omose.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Miriam.
Have you heard my question from what you're discussing before we get into our topic? Yes.
About the IBC?
About the IBC and the new information, they're saying now that it will use photographs of results declaration forms rather than the alphanumeric data of the results as the primary data source. And if this is the case, then this could delay real-time transmission as it will have to manually key in results from tens of thousands of photographs of forms shared by returning officer. And this is something that has not been used before. So why is IEBC all of a sudden adopting these new ways of relaying these election results different from before?
This takes us back to the discussion on what Doctor has just spoken about in the morning, that the election from the word go, all indications is that it is a sham election. Looking at it, one of the characteristics of an election is that it has to be justifiable, verifiable, and transparent. And from today's headline at the Daily Nation, you see that it's one of the most opaque elections ever in Kenya's history. If you talk of using the photographs, and for the little knowledge I understand about IT and photography, is that there's very high chances of these elections being manipulated. The photographs can be manipulated in that it cannot be same as these real time that has been used before. So looking into the additional number of polling stations, the delay in the release of the KPMG audit number of the voters, everything to do with how Chebukati was talking with Marjan the other day, the interviewing, someone talking of a presidential candidate receiving information before even the commission itself releasing it out, it shows you that there is something more fishy than has ever happened in Kenya's history. So all indications are that probably the commission, there is what they know that nobody else knows. And just as Doctor said, you hear the deputy president talking of this is a clear thing. Why is he so much contented with the process? But any other person, when you look at it from a critical point of view, you realize that this election is rigged before it is even cast at the ballot.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And of course, the other issue that we've talked about here, that IEBC now is saying they really did not do their due diligence, and they're responding to questions on whether the IEBC Secretariat did due diligence before awarding the 4 billion Kenya shillings tender to the Dutch firm IEBC, that is the Smartmatic International. And IEBC IEBC Chief Executive Marjan Hussein Marjan admitted that the controversial past of the company in past polls did not come to their attention. He said the revelations surrounding the history of the company, which supplied the Kenya Integrated Elections Management System, KEMS kits, were never cited during the evaluation process, putting into question the integrity of the procurement. Surely, I don't even work for the IEBC, and when I was looking for this information about this company, Doctor, we talked about this here the other day, it did not even take us much to Google and find out information. Just a bit of some background check about this company. Now, IEBC is saying they did not know that Smartmatic actually agreed to having messed up the elections in Venezuela in 2016. Remember when they said somehow 1 million votes found themselves, inside, and they could not explain how. So their kids were manipulated, and several other countries that have experienced some election manipulation and irregularities after using their services. And IEBC is saying they really did do their due diligence. So these stories that now are coming up that could very well pose an integrity, a question to our elections, they did not bother to do a background intelligence before they about the procurement process. So they did not do that. So are we just supposed to sit here and just be fine with that, Gladwell? All right, Douglas. Captain, if you can hear me.
Miriam.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, let Douglas go first and then you come in. Douglas, go ahead.
Miriam, I think the IBC of the Republic of Kenya has also set a very bad precedent for nullification of this election. And I've said for over 2 years on this very television and other media for us that the IBC is setting a phase for nullification of this election. If they tell us mysteriously some 1 million voters found themselves into the register, they are preparing grounds for nullification, Miriam. I believe the IBC had no reason and no intention, and there would have been no intention for the IBC to also come out clearly, Miriam, and tell the people of Kenya that they are not going to be able to conduct this election as it was. And I think that technically, Miriam, that IBC is incapable of conducting an election in this country. Another thing that I think that the IBC of the Republic of Kenya is coming out clearly is that they have also used billions of dollars in this election to also gulp that money or use that money illegally and conduct a sham election that is going to be nullified. Even a kindergarten kid can be able to nullify that election. This election is not transparent. This election is not free. This election is not fair. And also, this election lacks credibility in the sense that the IBC has consistently said that they are technically incapable of conducting this election. I believe from the bottom of my heart that this IBC medium is preparing this country for a disaster, and we cannot push this country into an end at this point, Miriam. I believe that IBC has committed elect fraud. IBC has is incompetent, it's inept, and also IBC as it is constituted today, their interest and also their alignment is not consistent with the aspirations and the dreams of the people of Kenya as it pertains to this election. Millions of 50 million Kenyans, of Kenya is not prepared for such a disaster as it is exposed to by the IBC as we see.
Okay. Very well.
Today, the kind of issues that
we have a problem with your connection.
Wafula Chebukati respond on telling us it's going to conduct free, credible, is ill-prepared, is incapable, is inept, and I believe from the bottom of my heart, this election is going to be nullified. And also, as we prepare for this nullification medium, we should have postponed this election to at least 1 year to 2 years, put in a caretaker government, or let President Uhuru Kenyatta lead the ship for the next 1 year, and we can be able to prepare ourselves. Remember, in 2012, we took it by 4 months. We should have done
Okay.
as Harriers yesterday, Miriam, because IBC and Shine Bad and Miriam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So in Venezuela in 2017, Smartmatic acknowledged the turnout voters figures were manipulated by at least 1 million. In Uganda, the biometric voter kits failed in 2020, forcing election officials to revert to the manual system. And in the US also, we saw they had a problem with that. In Zambia, in Philippines, the list is endless. And these companies' reputation in these countries was hit amid these accusations and the failure of their systems. And IEBC in their wisdom, I think Marjan, when he was being asked, this is what he said. I think it will be proper if these questions could be directed to the company. I cannot speak on their behalf. Sir, that's why you were there. That's why there is something called due diligence. You check the background of this company and see if they have the capacity and, you know, if they're people that can be trusted with such an important exercise that holds the future of this country, you know, at stake here. So if the CEO of IEBC is now saying he can't answer these questions about the credibility and the due diligence and why it was not even done, he's saying, and these questions that are being raised from these other countries, and he's saying you can go ask that company those questions. I'm not in a position to answer. So what are we supposed to do as Kenyans now in the meantime? Gladwell. Oh, Kiptanui, come in.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you. My phone actually is almost switching off. We had no electricity, so now it is 2%. Let me take from there so that I charge and then I join you. Miriam, we've said in several times that IBC actually is not prepared, and as my colleagues have said, there is a problem with actually Chebukati. Maybe there is a deal he has already started. The way we say the other time, we don't know it. So there must be, this is in Rift Valley. Some of us who are living in these cosmopolitan areas where we've been experiencing violence, year come, year out. We are so worried. And it is my appeal that 21 days can ban this country. I want to join my brother Douglas that let us actually postpone this election. Can you see, Miriam, the effort that youths are actually putting down there in coast? You know, they are now mobilizing youth to go for peaceful elections. When we are actually advocating for peaceful elections, one man from Bungoma, who is called Chebukati, is trying as much as possible to force these elections. We must be ask ourselves.
Okay, we apologize for that. That connection is having a problem, Kiptanui.
Why is it that these other presidential candidates or presidential this? Why is it that William Ruto alone? Can you hear me now?
We're having a bit of a problem there. I don't know if you could just, okay, we can hear you now. Just try one more time.
You can hear me?
Mm.
I was actually trying to say that Miriam, Chebukati is only one man who can ban this country, and we there is no problem when we advocate for the postponement of elections. We can postpone this election for 3 months so that we get prepared for it than to ban this country, Miriam. I said earlier, it happened that I am in this area now called Maunara. It's a cosmopolitan. My Kalenjins, they live in 3 kilometers. Masai are here. Kikuyus are living around here, and we have been having a lot of problems during elections, Miriam. We as youths, we are advocating for peace. But you see, one man can ban this country. Let us actually see what we are going to do. This polling station is speaking. We don't know. We don't know even. So let us, and I say this, Miriam, that some people are not even questioning. One of them is William Ruto. He's not even questioning why, he's not even worried. He's saying everything is okay. Hata mukiweka Uhuru Odinga kwa IBC chairman, the elections will go on and will beat you. So in my opinion, on my honest opinion, I am of the opinion that maybe William Ruto has actually set up some fake polling stations in Uganda or some other part. Let us use this year. We have strong apparatus that we can unveil these things, Miriam. As lastly, Miriam, Yesterday, we saw many people, especially someone in London, complaining that William Ruto called me. He called even almost 100 million. Miriam, you see, there are a lot of problems around. So let us actually see what we are going to do before that.
Okay, so let me just get back to Doc before and then we can start on our topic for today. So they're saying that, they did not know this information before, but this assertion contradicts their earlier statement that the procurement process was above board, that due diligence was done, involving going to places where Smartmatic carried out elections before, interviewing officials in the said countries as well. These are the lies that IEBC told earlier. And now they've been caught in their own lie.
Miriam, there is one question I want to ask you.
Yes.
And to floor your so-called elections.
Mm-hmm. That is
one question that almost watch my lips.
How are you going to floor something that's already flawed, Doc?
No, I will floor it. Because for me, I have already got my Kenyans who have already sharpened their petitions. I told you I will be going to Seychelles. My boss has gone to Seychelles. I will be going to Mauritius. And I come back. You know I like a holiday. I come back. And you telling me that I told you. Look here. Where did they publish in national newspapers that they have allocated the tender to Lagos of Greece? Where? They can't run to the paper now and backdate it? No. Where? We have already shown to the court. We have evidence that they did not publish. You are supposed, after the tender is awarded, you are supposed by law to publish in 2 national readable papers for a week, 7 days, that the tender has been allocated. They didn't do that. They violated the act. So we are done. We are done. And this may be, you know what, Miriam, is IEBC is a pain. It's going to be a pain. I don't cry for me, cry for yourselves. Because for me, I'll be going to Mauritius.
But Doc, how do they lie about things like this? They lied about doing due
But they have lied. I told you.
They lied about going to these countries, and now they're saying they don't know that Smartmatic messed up elections in this country. Now they're saying we don't know. Go ask Smartmatic about this information. But IBC told us that its officials went to these countries that Smartmatic conducted, helped in the elections, and they did their due diligence. So apparently, I don't even know if any of them traveled to even go do due diligence. But from what we're reading this morning, they're contradicting themselves, and it is apparent
I am told,
not do all
Gladwell, Miriam, you are right. This whole thing, even Raila Odinga is keeping quiet. So what does he know? I don't know what he knows. Raila Odinga to keep quiet at this hour. Then they must, I don't know. And for me, Matanga, you know what? I will be going to Mauritius. Mauritius. Take a holiday. And I don't hear, on Water Island there, you don't hear anything about Africa. It is. So thank you very much, viewers. Miriam, we have done our best, my dear. We have done our best. Contradictions coming from the IEBC puts us at a very terrible, terrible situation. Thank you very much. Let's cross over to Gladwell Kiragu. Gladwell Kiragu, good morning or good afternoon now in Nairobi.
Very good afternoon to Dr. David Matsanga. Good afternoon to Miriam. Good afternoon to my fellow panelists.
You have listened very greatly on the IEBC. Let's change the subject and look for the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now I am told you are with the chairman of one of the CDF in where you are. Let's engage us now. We are ready.
The community has left something. That's what he's trying to fix. That's why we are actually outside the premises. And as you can see, there's so much that is ongoing. The far end, if you can see it, I've not gotten the permission to do a show there within the level 3 hospital. It's a new one whereby we're expecting the president anytime to open it, the Githurai 44 level 3 hospital. So it's an achievement. And again, where I'm standing, Doc, as you can see, this is the end. The CDF office, actually the chairman is here. So I think you'll give us a brief of the background concerning it and how many people have benefited from it and the other projects that are within the area, within the CDF.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I am Dr. David Matsanga. You must have seen me on your television. Now you see me live. Good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Matanga. I've seen you several times. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I am assessing the President Uhuru Kenyatta's achievements. How do you feel about his achievement in your area of Githurai?
One, Mr. Mwangi, Chairman Roysambo NGCDF. And responding to your question, I think the President has performed quite well. In our area, we have seen quite a lot. We have been, personally, I've been the chairman of CDF since 2013, basically when the president took over the office. So we have shared that term up to 2017, and 2017 up to now is 2022. I can say in our area we have benefited quite a lot.
Okay. You have summarized very well. You have shared the term with the president.
Yes.
You feel like a son left without a father as he goes, like me. I'm feeling that way.
Definitely, I would feel the same. But you see, if the father leaves you in good hands, then there's nothing to worry. If you can give direction that I'm going, but I'm leaving you in the hands of so and so, then you would feel safe.
So you think the president was right when he said, "Jamen, I will be going, but I want the children who will handle my land, my house, and keep my estate." And those children are Martha Karua and Raila Odinga. Was he right?
He was quite right. Quite right.
Thank you very much. Anything you want to tell the Kenyans?
Just
they are watching you. They are watching you now. Every part of Kenya. What do you want to tell them?
That we should listen to what the president is saying. He knows better why he is saying so, and the direction he is giving us.
Do you like people who steal property in your place?
Definitely, thieves are not like anywhere, not alone in our place. But I don't think there is anyone who will entertain someone who will take away your property.
Okay. Yeah. I want to thank you very much. We shall be coming to you from time to time to interview you, but we thank you very much. How many projects do you handle that you see, dispensaries, small clinics? As the president, the CDF improved the situation on the ground?
Definitely, yes. We have handled quite many projects, but you realize CDF has its area of operation.
Yeah.
It's a national government part. So we don't, since 2015, we have not been handling we have not been handling hospitals and dispensaries. But on the education side and security, we have done a lot. We have done quite a lot.
You will say you are in Roysambo
constituency, Nairobi region, Nairobi County.
Which is one of the crime, the rate of crime there is high, Chairman. We saw people being gunned at daytime, in the morning, somebody gets out. How far have you gone to tame down the insecurity that is in that region?
We work closely with
with the people in charge of security, from down Numbakumi all the way to the area OCS and OCPD, and even other security people like the chiefs. We have been working very closely to ensure that there is enough security within our constituency. Like right here on my right side, we have done an office for the chief and the AP from the area to ensure that there is enough security around this place of Githurai.
Okay. Thank you very much. 1 out of 10. How many marks did you give President Uhuru Kenyatta?
I will give him 8.
8.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Mwangi. That is the chairman of CDF in Roysambu constituency. These are some of the things that we want to continue doing in the next 1 month or 2 months to come to get it until we get a new president. When the new president is there, because already we have said in this election, whichever way you vote, it will end up in court and someone will come and nullify it. We want to thank you so much. We want to thank you for having joined us, our television. Always be with us. Watch us. We shall send you the clip so that you can show your people of the CDF.
Thank you too.
Thank you very much. Keep it up and vote Azimio.
Very much.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much, my dear sister Kiragu, for that good interview. Doubt that is very, very practical. Asante sana kabisa na kuachia. Nataka kuachia
Yes, before she goes, I think she mentioned a hospital there. Can
she
tell us
but
more
they
about
have not allowed her to go there.
Yes, but I'm sure she has asked some information. What level of hospital is that? When is it due for completion? Is it already being used? Are Kenyans able to access services there yet? Kiragu?
So let me take it over from there. Can I now sneak and my flight is leaving me?
Okay.
You can take over from you people and continue with.
It has a maternity wing. It has a maternity wing. It has men ward, children ward.
Okay, thank you so much, Miriam. Yes, I spoke about the Githurai 44 level hospital. It is actually a level 3, but I've not been given the CDF office. And Miriam, the hospital, it's a new one. It has a maternity wing whereby women actually here they can be admitted. We have also other things that are actually going inside in there. That is it. That's a clear view of it. It's a level 3 hospital. And as I've told you, I have not known much since the person in charge is actually not here.
It's okay.
But I've known that there's
And I understand. So there's a maternity wing, and then there's and also other Kenyans can seek any kind of medical treatment.
Yes, any Kenyan can actually walk in and be served here, but purposely they have the maternity wing for women. So women here are safe.
Is it working right now, or when is it due?
Yes, I can see some few patients in and out, but they have not fully commenced. Okay. Until the president now says comes to open it together with the CDF. Some projects, actually some construction are still ongoing, and with the CDF I can say I'm proud because behind it there's a school which is being run by the CDF, and also there's the Githurai Secondary School, and also we have, as you can see there, where the white lorry is, that's a chief's camp. That's a chief's camp under the CDF. So they have done quite a lot in this area, and you can see the construction. We can also see this other building. It's a youth resource. Here it is. You can see it, a very nice one. Yeah, where the youth will actually get empowered. Let me get in. Yeah, so I think the chairman can explain about it because he's here. You can see it, very nice. There it is. Yeah. So I want the chairman maybe to explain about it. Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, just from there.
This Roysambu Youth Resource Center. having been done by Isambo and ECDF. The purpose is to empower our youth. Up there, we want to set up an ICT hub where the youth can use the ICT to do their research, do their projects. And then down here, we shall also have youth having their meetings, they can do their music, they can do their drama, just to make sure that they are busy. And even when they are the children, the school-going youth are at home and use the center as a library. You can come with their books, we shall have tables and chairs all over. They can do over the holiday, they can come and do their studies here.
All right. Kiragu, thank you so much. And I'm sure a lot of young people from that area might not have been aware, but right now I'm sure they are aware of that very important information. Kiragu, thank you so much. Good job. And now I'd like to hear from Cornelius Omuse as we conclude where you are and what you can tell us.
Thank you so much, Miriam, here in Bungoma County. Tomorrow we'll be actually showcasing the road that connects, that is from Kitale all the way to Bungoma, then that one to Malaba. And then at the same time, there is a road that under President Uhuru Kenyatta's regime was actually begun. That is from Kitale town to Swam border in Uganda on the other side. Just to jog your memory back, you should actually, we all know that Kitale is actually referred as the food basket of Kenya. And most of the times, farmers here have been facing challenges transporting their farm produce to the market, to a point that even sometimes these maize and other farm produce actually goes bad before reaching the market. But this road that I'll be showcasing tomorrow, I'll even be interviewing the border and also the transport stakeholders, is actually going to improve the business in this area and also the networking. It will actually be a game changer when it comes to agribusiness and also transport and networking, and actually also the economy of this region, Kitale moving to all the way the parts of western part of Kenya.
All right, thank you so much, Cornelius Omuse, joining us there from Kandui in Bungoma. Jevan Karanja, what can you tell us?
Thank you very much, Miriam, and the team on the panel. And I'm very happy to report that over the weekend, I went around Kirinyaga and some parts of Kiambu for some activities. And I was listening to what the people feel about the regime of President Uhuru Kenyatta and how they have benefited. And here in Mount Kenya region, a lot of people have been saying, especially those in UDA, that President Uhuru Kenyatta has not delivered. But when you go on the ground and get the raw facts, you understand that our people are very optimistic, they are very happy, and they are very thankful to President Uhuru Kenyatta for the project that he has initiated in this place. In Kirinyaga, they have the Diba Dam, a very mega project that will ensure the people of Kirinyaga will continue doing their rice farming without so much strain because of caused by inadequate water. But with that dam, they'll be able to do their farming. They'll be able also to maximize on their profit because they will not be counting loss on when dry season, when the sunny season hits. And they are very happy because, and that is the only way, Miriam, through this dam. In Kiambu, we have a Karemeno Dam. This dam, Miriam, what they do, they ensure that we are food secure. And I was giving you an example last time. If today we had actualized the Kimorel and Arol Dam, the Gulana Kulalu project, I don't think we could be having the problem when it comes to maize flour. We could not be buying it so expensive as it is now, because those projects, those dams, could have ensured that the people of Vergeyo Marakwet, the people of West Pokot, and all that area, they are food secure, Miriam. And if we could be having the Gurana Kulalu project that was estimated to make this country food secure, we could be buying maize flour maybe at 80 shillings. But because of corruption and bad leadership that has been a rogue and in the Jubilee administration, that is why today we are feeling the pinch of corruption. And our people are feeling like they need to change the leadership. And a lot need to be done. Maybe to sell the manifesto of Azimio and so on. But our people really know what they need. They need a leadership that will continue working and bringing them more projects, as President Uhuru Kenyatta has done. Because when you go to this region, Miriam, you'll find numerous numbers of roads. And I think in every constituency in Mount Kenya region, they have 1 or 2 roads that have been constructed by President Uhuru Kenyatta. This has opened our region. This has caused a mushrooming of shopping centers, and this means job to the young people. A lot have been done, and a lot will be done if the people in this country will entrust this country in the hands of people who are known to fight for the interests of Wanjiku, who are known to stand for the constitution, and people who are known to be futuristic and who have a vision for this country, people who are known to be men and women of integrity. Therefore, I would urge Kenyans, as we head to this election, let's make the right decision, because we have good leaders on the ballot and we have bad people on the ballot. It is upon us to sieve and get the best. We have the opportunity on 9th of August to change the course of this country and take it to a better place. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Douglas Kirimi.
Before I depart, can I say a word?
Yes.
First, I want to thank all of you and as you continue to discuss the western flank of our flagship display, we give Mr. Cornelius more to tell us about the project, because he's collected under the Rift Valley man, because he's collected quite a lot of information in that area. I want to thank you very much, and I want to tell you the election is a disaster. So if you want to have a headache, talk about it. If you are one thing that has worried me is His Excellency, the Right Honorable Minister, Prime Minister, is not talking. I'm going to inquire about that. Why? Maybe we might be the only people in Jerusalem, Miriam, who see these anomalies, and some people are not seeing them. And why are people like Orengo very quiet? They usually talk. What is the problem? What is there? I don't know. But that is, thank you very much. Continue with the program as we proceed. And don't forget, tonight at 8 o'clock East African time, there will be Mathanga's Space on Twitter Space. Karanja, you have to apply to be a speaker. All the time you just listen and disappear, but today apply to be a speaker. And Kiragu, I don't know where she's gone, but all of us, when you have time, join that. Kiptanui, I saw you. Cornelius, Miriam has, I don't see you unless you come under a very technical name. Let's join. It's very interesting to learn so many ideas. Come, Linda, I think you saw it in Karanja. People have ideas there you can learn. In fact, if you are not taking notes from some of those guys, there's good statements that come about. Thank you very much. God bless you. Let me hit the road.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that, Douglas. Okay. Kiptanui, go ahead.
Yes, I'm ready now. Can I take on?
Yes, go ahead. What can you tell us?
In some few minutes ago, Miriam, I told you my phone, the battery was low. I decided to alight and charge it. I met a person I wanted to interview, but he has just left. And he actually told me I asked him a question. How is it now? How are you people prepared about elections? because this is a cosmopolitan area. I told you we have Kalenjin some 3 kilometers here, we have Masai some 3. Miriam, Mount Narok is a border is actually a border to Narok. Some almost 10 kilometers from here to Tibis, the other end is Narok. And I want to report that there is a road, Darwish can confirm to you, there is a road which has not been tarmac since 1974. And it has been tarmac. It is almost coming all the way from Narok, some few meters to connect back and inatoka Nakuru. So we want to say is that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done a lot. Another thing, Miriam, in the morning, as I told you, I actually visited the Rift Valley Provincial General Hospital to bring you into update about what is happening over there. Miriam, when you see those photos, you will realize that the hospital has been built by Uhuru Kenyatta, and it is named Margaret Kenyatta, baby and mother and baby. So when you see things like that happening, Miriam, it is now one of the universal health coverage. Women are delivering almost free. They are happy. And when you see outside, Miriam, people are very busy selling masks. You cannot enter inside there without a mask. The business of selling masks and COVID and observing COVID has just come back. Also, there is a business around directly opposite to the Rift Valley General Hospital. People are selling mandazi, selling bananas to the people who are visiting the patient. So there are a lot of things which are happening. Lastly, Miriam, before I go to another subject, is that we said when we are beginning this legacy trend last week. We talk about what is the problem that you don't find safety action inside the hospital, and you find it outside. There is on those photographs you can be able to see a chemist. I took a photograph called Milimani Chemist. It is 10, not even, it's almost 5 meters from outside the gate. So there is a problem. We said the other time that for us to achieve this, we must root corruptions. I tried to talk to some people there, to a boda guy who was dropping me to town so that I pick Masatu to where I am now. And he told me there is a lot of problem because we are not getting these drugs inside. Town from there to town is 2 kilometers. Town is very expensive. So the only thing we are going to do in the next government is to root this corruption. Another thing I want to say, Miriam, is about what my brother Jevan Karanja has touched about dams. If there are people who are sad, me and people of Kimoarera Narok, you see, as we are proceeding at the course of this week, Miriam, I will be visiting Kitale Dam. Kitale Dam was one of the dams that was being constructed here in Kuresoi. It was supposed to supply us water in Nakuru, but we don't have water because some people squander the money like Kimore and Narrow Dam. So as in Rift Valley, Miriam, we want to thank His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta for giving us for giving William Ruto 5 years to be deputy, but also he did not take an advantage of that opportunity to develop our area. There is a lot of problems about water, about drought, Miriam. We could have mitigated the droughts. There is something, Miriam, we didn't touch yesterday. I want to come to you in 1 minute about the counties which have been divided as battlefields. And Nakuru was one of the battlefields. Did you? I think you read that in the newspaper yesterday. So you see, when you say Nakuru, one of the battlefields as we are going for elections, Miriam, it is a lie because we have only 2 constituencies which can be battled. That is Kuresoi North and Kuresoi South, because these other constituencies are Jubilee. So we almost 60% in terms of votes. Azimio will be getting this 60%. So as in Nakuru, we are in Azimio. And we want to applaud what you are doing over there. May God bless you so much. I submit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Unless you have a question.
No, thank you so much. I think you've done a good job in bringing us the details and putting your case across over the issues that we've been talking about. It's afternoon, but since morning, thank you so much there, Kiptanui Sylvania, all the way from he's in Mount Narok today in Joro constituency. So Douglas Kirim, if you can hear me. All right.
Yes, Miriam, I can hear you.
Yes. So what can you tell us? What do you have for us this afternoon?
Miriam, I believe from the bottom of my heart that at this point, our country is going to elections in the next in the next over 20 days, 22 days actually, and the people of Kenya are anticipating a free, fair, and a credible election. The reports from IBC, everything we are reading from newspapers is contradicting, and the people would want to have a peaceful country. After elections, we need to go back to work, and we also need to get this country going after this election media. We've invested a lot of money in it. We've invested billions of dollars in making sure that this election is going to be free, fair, and credible. But what Wafula Chebukati is doing to us as a country is not right. It is not good. And also, it does not care about the welfare, the public good, and also the interest of the people of Kenya. Remember, as we are going to this election, Miriam, we are going to vote for a president that is going to represent the hopes and aspirations of millions of Kenyans across the country. And also, they are key interests of our own nation. They are critical investments that we have made as a people and also as a country. We've built roads, we've built railway, we've also built ports, we've invested in airports. Those are critical installations, investment installations that can be able to be tapped on and also grow our country after elections. But what Wafula Chebukati and the Commission are doing to the people of Kenya is not good. I believe Wafula Chebukati is hearing our voice, and if he's not hearing our voice, he will hear it in other media for us, that this election has to be free, fair, and credible. But as far as I'm concerned, he has great grounds for nullification of this election medium. All the infrastructure projects that have been able to be invested for the last 10 years by the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta are at stake. The lives of the people of Kenya are at stake. Wafula Chebukati, the man that we hope to deliver a free, credible, and a transparent election, is not committing to the same. CEO Hassan Majan of IBC is not promising as much. But what we know as the people of Kenya, we are one people, we are one country. Even if this election is nullified, please let's go to court in peace. And if this election is actually postponed, Miriam, which has been my prayer for the last 2 years, let us embrace this kind of a change, because this is the only thing that is going to help our country, and this is the only solution that we have to problems that bedevil our country. I've said before, there are people that are going to this election, Miriam, and they do not represent the interest of millions of Kenyans across the country if the election has to be about them alone. We need to also come to the conclusion that as a people and as a country, we have a country to come back to. We have industries to go and work back. We have factories. We have a country to run. The next president of the Republic of Kenya should be able to assure this country of peace, and also work with the critical institutions like IBC and other independent institutions to make sure that this country is at work again. And also the next dispensation, IBC does not put us at the edge the way they are doing today, Miriam. All the problems that the IBC is presenting to the people of Kenya are issues that could have been given an opportunity, have been solved before, given an opportunity, could have been tackled before, given an opportunity, could have been taken care of. But IBC has ignored the voices of the people. IBC has ignored the interest, the public good and welfare of the millions of people of Kenya. Over 50 million people depend on IBC to deliver transparent, credible, and also a fair election. There are candidates that spread across the country that depend on IBC to come out clearly and also deliver this election so that we can be able to move on as a country, Miriam. We cannot be stagnating after every 5 years. Wafula Chebukati and company, please. This country is bigger than any other person that is running for president. This country is bigger than any other interest that override the national interest of the people of Kenya. That's why I've said before that even after this election, as a country, we should be able to consider going the national manifesto way or the national coalition way, where we can be, after 5 years, a particular party can take over. And after that party takes over, we can now come to the fore and also ensure that leaders succeed on the very national manifesto or the national agenda that we have for our country. We have a national agenda for our country. We do not have to subject our country to an expensive election after every 5 years, Miriam. We are in Africa, and this republic is also our business. We need to rethink on the way we do our elections in this country. Because I do not understand how a country can sink billions of dollars into an election, but 2 or 3 officials of the Electoral Commission led by Wafula Chebukati who ran that election out of town. We have no election to conduct in the next 22 or 21 days, and we have no country after that if this election is not going to be free and fair and also transparent, Miriam. As a country, as a people, we have a responsibility to come back to this country after we elect governors, MCAs, MPs, and actually all over the country. People are anticipating a country after the 9th of August. I pray for a peaceful Kenya, but we can do better next time, Miriam. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And that is where we end our show this afternoon. Thank you, Douglas Kirimi, Cornelius Mose, Gladwell Kiragu, Jevan Karanja, as well as Kiptanui Savania. And earlier on, we had Muntalo Advice, who is the national youth leader of Azimio One Kenya Coalition. He was at the coast with Dr. Matanga, but his connection was not very good, was disrupted there, but he shared a bit of some information there. I want to thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you can join me here later on at 3 p.m. with more news from across the continent of Africa. My name is Miriam Ogotu. Enjoy the rest of your day.